All right, Coach. So let's recap summer practice so far. How's everything been going leading up to your first game?
It's been exciting. We've stayed healthy, which is a key, and we have a lot of returners back this year, so it's probably been a smoother transition into fall camp and getting into game week than it has been the last few years. So we've got a lot of excitement and ready. I think we're tired of beating on each other. We're kind of excited that it's game week and start preparing to play somebody else.
Now, your fourth year at the school now. Your first year recruits are now in their fourth year. What have you guys collectively learned as a group through 3 years now that everything has finally come full circle for you?
I think for the kids, it's a little bit of what our expectations were when they first got here, and what my expectations are always going to be, and for them to buy into what our goals are. I think that's changed a lot over the last year, and I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching staff that's here. It's been here for a year, so for the last 3 or 4 years, I think they were trying to figure it out just like we were. We were trying to figure out what to expect out of them, and what we needed to do to be successful, and I think that the guys kind of figured that out towards the end of the year last year, and we were able to push them that way. And I think more than anything, we've just grown together, family. It's these guys care about each other. They care about each other on and off the field, and I'm talking about coaches, players, everybody. We're more of a family now than we ever have been.
Now, as we lead up to West Virginia State, have you guys started your pregame week and how you normally prepare for a game? Is that starting? Starting Monday?
It'll start today, Monday through Friday, and obviously play Saturday. So today will be the first day that we take a real deep look into what we expect and game plan, and get ready to go on the road against them.
Looking back at last year's game against West Virginia State, obviously it didn't start the way you wanted to. What did you guys learn from that game that you can fix? Are they fixable mistakes that happened a year ago?
Yeah, I think any mistake's fixable. There was nothing that happened that, we knew we had to get better week 2, and going into week 1, whether we won or lost, we knew we had to get better week 2. I think that, we just played probably worse than anybody could imagine for the first 3 quarters of that game, and never really got on track. And you got to give them credit. I mean, they came out ready to play, and they took it to us early, and we didn't respond well. So I think, if anything, you'd think that our guys would kind of figure, what happened last year and why it happened, and hopefully build on or get to the place where we were come week 9, 10, and kind of get off to a better start this season. But again, I mean, you go down on the road first week of the year, it's hard to anticipate exactly what you're going to see. So it's always kind of a toss-up at first game, and you don't really know where you're at as a program either until you get out on the field on a game day. And I think we're anxious to see where we're at, but we remember a little bit about last year, but we're also moving forward. We know we're a different team now as well.
Kind of building on what you mentioned there, how difficult is it to prepare a game plan and a scout team and all that for week 1 when you don't have any 2016 film on these guys?
Yeah, it's tough. You got to kind of speculate on what you're going to get, and for us, we've always focused a lot on what we do. We don't worry a whole lot about what the other team does. Our stuff is built to where if you do your job, it should be successful, and it just helps a little bit come week 2, and you can at least show the guys on film what they're about to see. So week 1 again is usually a crapshoot. You never really know, but hopefully with some upperclassmen and returners, that won't be a big deal. They've seen pretty much everything they're going to see at one point in their career. And we just got to go down there and be ready to play. What
do we know about West Virginia State? I mean, obviously you're more focused on what you do, but what do you know from them?
Well, they have a lot of returners as well. I mean, you look at their 2 deep. There's returners at just about every position. So again, they're kind of a similar situation we are. John took over the same year I did down there. We've both been rebuilding and building, and it's going to be a contest of 2 teams that are very, very similar and in the same situations. I think the first game of the year for every team, you should have just about everybody healthy and all your bullets in the gun, and you're going to be able to fire every single one of them for the first game. So it should be a challenge. I mean, they're really good, and we saw that last year when they play their game and they're all healthy and there's no hiccups. I mean, they're tough to beat, especially at home.
a lot of times early in the season, granted you've had a lot of summer practice, but oftentimes you're kind of, as far as instilling a playbook and game plans and everything that you're going to do on the field, a lot of times that doesn't happen until later in the year as you build. Is that easier to do with Cooper and Fabian and a lot of your experienced guys, just to throw the whole playbook out week one, or are we building to where we're going to be later in the year?
Well, I think anytime with those older guys, it's easier. I mean, they've done, they've played 3 years, so they know just about everything we're going to do. They've done it before, and I just think that you got to be sound in what your fundamentals and your base stuff are. A lot of times at the beginning of the year, you haven't gotten that deep into the playbook. So if you can't run the ball on your basic run stuff and throw the ball on your basic throw stuff, it really doesn't matter what you do. But for those older guys and specifically Fabian and Coop, there's not too many things that we can't do. But to set back on week one and game plan and put a bunch of stuff in, I don't know if that's really what we'll do. I think that we're going to be pretty basic and sound and just do what we're good at.
Do you anticipate any kind of particular breakout performance from anyone that you've seen in practice has really impressed, whether it's Brandon going out there in his second year in the program, opposite Fabian being able to make plays, or someone new like a Boo who can go out there and...
It's hard to tell. Going into week one, you don't know. We feel like we have a talent everywhere. It's going to be whoever just steps up and makes plays that day, and who's in rhythm and all that. It's really hard to tell for us. We're fairly confident in all of our players and talent, and it's just going to be whoever decides to do their job the best and do it better longer than the other guy on game day.
What are your expectations for your team?
Our expectations are to go out and win. We're going to compete, and just like always, go out, do your job every play, do it the best you can for your team, and take care of the little things, and the scoreboard takes care of itself.
Do you have any in particular players you think are going to play a particular key role?
No, like I said, not this week. I think that we're more worried about doing our job on every play, and that's top to bottom. That's all 11.
All right, and would you say that that's your key to the game?
Yep, absolutely.